Hello everyone, my name is Caryn and welcome to today's full body flow. So today we're going to be moving through postures that will awaken and bring awareness and strength to the entire body. And I invite you to go ahead and grab 2 blocks for today's practice. You don't need them, but it's just nice to have them there handy just in case you do. So I'm going to get you started today in a seated position, so sitting with the legs crisscrossed. And then bringing the hands to rest on the knees, feeling the shoulders drop down away from the ears. And if it feels comfortable here to close the eyes, perhaps soften the gaze. Allow yourself to settle into the shape, feeling the muscles in the face release. And let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale, sigh it out through the mouth, letting it all go. Another breath just like that, growing tall from the belly into the chest, and then exhale, sigh it out. One more full expansive breath just like that, hold it at the top, and then exhale, let it go. Feeling your body melt into the shape. Begin to move the breath in and out through the nose. A slight constriction at the back of the throat. It should sound like ocean waves. Almost as if you're trying to fog up a mirror, but the lips are sealed. This is our ujjayi breath, our powerful, intentional breathing. Using it as our guide throughout our practice today. On your next inhale, allow the eyes to flutter open. Reach the arms up overhead, palms touch as you lift the gaze. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, right hand down, left arm reaches up and over, side body stretch. Still grounding into the hips. Reach through the fingertips, feeling a stretch through the side body, the ribs expanding, spreading apart. Inhale to come back through center, lift the gaze, palms touch. Exhale, left hand down, right arm reaches up and over. Breathing into the side body stretch. Maybe the gaze goes up. One more time with each breath. Inhale brings you through center. Exhale, right hand down, left arm reaches. Inhale back through center. Exhale, left hand down, right arm reaches. Inhale back through center, reach, reach, reach. And exhale, hands through the heart. Making your way into a tabletop position. Stacking the wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Tuck the toes as you spread the fingers wide. Really press the mat away from you, feeling that space between the shoulder blades expand and puff up towards the ceiling. On your next inhale, drop the belly, squeeze those shoulder blades in as you press the heart forward, lift the gaze. Exhale, round through the spine, tucking the pelvis, allow the crown of the head to fall, pressing into that space between the shoulder blades. Begin to move with breath. Inhale, drop the belly, finding your cow shape. And exhale to round through the spine. Begin to move with your breath. And I invite you here to tune into sensation over sight by closing the eyes. Maybe just softening the gaze. Bringing in any movement into the hips and the shoulders. Awakening the spine. And let's all meet with a flat back. On your next in-breath, reach that right arm forward, send the left leg back, flexing through the toes. Active through that left heel, squeeze the left glute, really pressing firmly through that left hand as you reach through the right. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, crunch in, elbow to knee, squeeze the core. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, crunch in. 2 more, inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach long, hold here. One more deep breath in, and then exhale, release down. Moving through a cat-cow, drop the belly, lift the gaze as you shine the heart forward. And then round through the spine. Meeting with that nice flat back. On your next in-breath, reach the left arm forward. This time, right leg goes back. Squeeze that right glute, active through the right heel, reaching through those left fingertips as you actively press firmly through that right hand. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, crunch in. Inhale, extend. Exhale to crunch. 2 more, inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Last one, inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, re-extend, hold. Reach, 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 engage the core. And then release down, move it through a cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly. And exhale, round the spine. Coming back to that neutral flat back. Begin to hover the knees off the mat here, just a couple of inches. Really pressing through the heels, fingertips spread wide. Reaching through the crown of the head, take a deep inhale. On your next exhale, send the hips up high, downward facing dog. Begin to pedal out the feet, bending into the knees. Swing the hips from side to side. Bringing in any movement that feels good. Maybe shaking the head yes, shaking it no. And then gently coming to stillness, having a little bend in the knees here as you melt the heels towards the mat. Fingertips spread wide as you actively press the chest towards the thighs and the chin towards the chest. Deep, full, expansive breath here. Lengthening the spine, lifting those hips. On your inhale, rising up onto the tiptoes, lift the heels. Exhale, melt those heels back down. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, melt. Last one, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale to gaze between the palms, and then slowly walk those feet all the way up towards the top of the mat, meeting the hands. And then bring a deep bend into the knees, grabbing hold of opposite elbows here. Allow the crown of the head to fall, adding a gentle sway from side to side. Allowing gravity to do the work here and drawing you deep into the shape. Shaking the head from side to side, maybe some neck rolls. And then release your bind, slowly rolling up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Allowing the head to come up last. And then meeting at the top of our mats. Bringing the feet to a hip-width distance. Release the arms alongside. Engage the thighs by lifting the knees. Rolling the shoulders up towards the ears and then sending them back and down. On your next inhale, reach the arms up high, palms touch, lift the gaze. On your exhale, open arm twist to the right. Send the gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale back through center. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Inhale through center. Cactus the arms, open the chest as you press the hips forward. Inhale, reach back to the sky. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forward. Bend the knees, relax the neck. Inhale, hands to shins, flat spine. On your exhale, planting the hands. Let's move to this first vinyasa slowly, stepping the feet back. And then drop the knees. On your exhale, hugging the elbows in close to the side body, releasing all the way down. Untuck the toes, inhale, lift the chest, press it forward, lift the gaze. Exhale, release. Tuck the toes, inhale to your tabletop. And exhale, downward facing dog. Always having this as our option as we move through our vinyasa. Maybe even just stepping straight back into your down dog, skipping your vinyasa completely today, choosing what feels good for you. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale to the top of the mat. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach those arms up high. Exhale, open arm twist to the right. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, open arm twist left. Inhale through center. Cactus the arms, open the chest, press hips forward. Inhale, reach it up high. Exhale, hinge to fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, maybe hopping back this time, making sure that you land with those elbows bent. They're kind of like shock absorbers here, releasing down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Holding here for 2 more deep breaths. Reaching those hips up high. Pressing the chest towards the thighs. Maybe closing the eyes when you come into the shape. Reconnecting to that breath. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale to hop, step, or float to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up high, palms touch, lift the gaze. On your exhale, bring your big toes to touch, and then sink the hips back, bending into the knees, still reaching those arms up high, chair pose, Utkatasana, sinking into the hips here. Staying with that full, deep breathing. Sink a little lower, reach a little higher, take a deep inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, flow, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale, back to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms up high, palms touch, lift the gaze. Exhale, hinge to fold, back down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. On your exhale, stepping your left foot back and then dropping that left knee. Preparing for our low lunge. On your next inhale, reach the arms up high, sink deep into the hips here, dropping the shoulders. 1 more deep breath in. On your exhale, release the hands to the mat. Shifting the hips back, extending through that right leg, right toes peel off. Inhale to come back forward. Planting that left hand firmly, lifting through the left knee, and then reach that right arm up towards the sky. Dragonfly twist. Hugging that right knee in towards the chest. 1 more breath in. Exhale, release that right hand down, stepping the right foot back, and then moving through your vinyasa. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full deep breathing here. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale to the top of the mat. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, reach those arms up high. And exhale, hinge to fold back down. Inhale, lift the spine, lengthen the chest. And then on your exhale, stepping the right foot back this time, drop that right knee. And allow the next inhale to reach the arms up high, sink into the hips here, drop the shoulders. Breathing into our low lunge. 1 more deep breath in. Exhale, release the hands to the mat. Shifting the hips back towards the heels, and then extend through that left leg as the left toes peel off the mats. Inhale to come back forward. And exhale, sink it back. Inhale back to the front of the mat. Planting the right hand down this time, lift the right knee, and then reach the left fingertips up towards the sky, opening through the side body. Hugging the left knee in towards the chest. Maybe the gaze goes up, deep inhale. Exhale, release left hand down, stepping it back and flowing through a vinyasa. High to low plank. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Full deep breathing here. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale to the top of the mat. Inhale to lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, you reach those arms up high. Exhale, crash back down, folding forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, flow high to low plank. Moving through your vinyasa. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Next in-breath reaches that right leg high towards the ceiling. And then in your exhale, drawing it in towards the chest and then stepping in between the palms. Keeping that left heel lifted. On your next inhale, reach the arms up high. Sink into the hips here. Dropping the shoulders. Lifting through the left heel. Softening the face. Deep breath in. On your next exhale, open up warrior two, dropping that left heel down, left toes turn out, sinking into the right knee. Drop the shoulders as you reach the hands away from one another, and then just soften the gaze over the right fingertips. Sink a little lower. Breathe a little deeper. Begin to straighten through the right leg. Hands meet up towards the sky, and then you're going to grab a hold of that right wrist, turn the palm to face the ceiling, press that palm up high, and then reach it back, feeling that side body stretch through the right side. And then you have the option here to lift off onto that right heel. Toes peel off the mat. Breathing here, this is Sky Archer. Release those right toes down if you lifted them. Release the bind, reach the right fingertips forward until you can't reach anymore. And then release right hand down, left arm reaches up high. Fantastic place to bring in your block. On the inside of that right foot. Assisting here with opening the chest. Breathing here into our triangle shape. Release the gaze down towards the mat. Release that left hand down and then crawl the fingertips over towards the long edge of the mat. Taking a deep breath in, lift and lengthen the chest. And on your exhale, begin to fold. Walking the fingertips beneath you, bending into the elbows as you draw the chest towards the thighs. Allow the crown of the head to fall. Breathe here into the shape. Great place if you're playing with inversions to come into a tripod or a headstand. Otherwise, just staying lifted here. The hips reaching up, the upper body hanging heavy. Still active, using the hands to draw you deep into the shape. Inhale gently to come back through center. Walking the hands back towards the top of the mat. Lifting off of that left heel, preparing for our high lunge stance. On your next inhale, reach the arms up high. Sink into the hips. Lift through the left heel, drop the shoulders, deep breath in. Exhale, sweep the arms back, heart moves forward. Inhale, re-extend, reach those arms up high. Exhale, sweep it back. One more time, inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep back. Inhale, reach. Exhale, release the hands down to the inside of the right foot, and then heel toe that right foot to the outer edge of the mat, and then drop that left knee down. You can keep the back toes tucked here. Also a really great pace to bring in your blocks. Bring them to the inside of that right foot. Planting the hands and then using this to sink into the hips whilst maintaining length in the spine and opening the chest. This is our lizard shape here. And if you wish to come a little deeper into the shape, maybe you drop onto those forearms. And if you want to feel a deeper sensation in the hips, allowing the right foot to fall onto the blade edge, allowing that right knee to fall open to the side. Breathe here. Perhaps closing the eyes. One more deep breath. And then gently begin to rise. Heel toe that right foot back between the hands, lifting through the left knee, and then step it back, moving through Vinyasa high to low plank. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg sweeps the sky, inhale. Exhale, as you step between the palms, keeping that right heel lifted. On your next in-breath, reach those arms up high, sink into the hips, lift the right heel, drop the shoulders, soften the face. Still squeezing those inner thighs towards one another. Deep, full breath here. Inhale through the nose. On your exhale, open up warrior two. Right heel plants. Right toes turn out slightly as you soften the shoulders down away from the ears, bending into the left knee, and then reach those fingertips away from one another. So ignite those arms. Feel the triceps light up. Sink a little deeper. Softening the face. Begin to extend through the left leg. Arms reach up, Grabbing a hold of the left wrist this time, turning the palm to face the sky, press the left palm towards the ceiling, and then reach it back. Breathing here into our sky archer pose, option to lift it through that left foot. Left toes come up as you come up onto that left heel. One more deep breath here. And then gently releasing that left foot back down. And then reach through the left fingertips until you can't reach anymore. And then release that left hand down, right arm reaches up high. Amazing place to bring in your block to the inside of that left foot. Using it to pivot the heart towards the sky. And maybe the gaze follows up towards that right hand. Breathe here. Release the gaze towards the mat. And then allow the hands to plant back towards the front of the mat, lifting through that right heel, finding our high lunge stance once again. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Sink into the hips, drop the shoulders. Deep, full breath in. Exhale, sweep the arms back, chest moves forward. Inhale, reach it up high. Exhale, sweep back. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, sweep back. Feel those triceps engage. Inhale, reach it up high. And then exhale, release the hands down to the inside of that left foot. Heel toe that left foot to the outer edge of the mat and then drop that right knee. Option to bring your blocks in here. Maybe you drop onto the forearms. Maybe you roll onto the blade edge of the left foot, allowing the knee to fall open to the side, deepening the stretch. Breathing here. Tiny cat really wants to do yoga today, apparently. I think she likes this mat. Allowing yourself to soften. Let's take one more deep breath in together. And then exhale, gently rising from wherever you are. Heel toeing that left foot back between the palms. Lifting through the right knee. And then step it back as you move through your vinyasa, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to gaze forward. Exhale to the top of the mat. Inhale to lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold. Bring the big toes to touch. Bend into the knees as you send the hips towards the back of the mat. Reach the arms up high, chair pose. We've been here before. Sinking into the hips. Squeeze the inner thighs towards one another. Reach the arms a little higher, sink the hips a little lower. Deep, full breathing. Beginning to rise up onto the balls of the feet, lifting the heels, and then sweep those arms back. Engage the triceps, chest moves forward. Inhale, drop the heels, reach the arms up high. Exhale, sweep it back, rising off the heels. Inhale, drop the heels, lift the arms. Exhale, sweep back. Two more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep back. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep back. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. And then exhale, hinge to fold forward. Inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, flow through your vinyasa, high to low plank. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Dropping the knees here, crossing the ankles, and then sitting back towards the heels and extend those legs out long in front of you. Flexing through the feet, reaching the toes back towards you, lengthen through the spine. As you inhale, reach the arms up high, lift the gaze, and exhale, hinge to fold forward. You can have a little bend in the knees here, assisting chest to thighs. Allow the crown of the head to fall. Breathing here. Maybe shaking the head from side to side. Noticing when we release the head down, it really expands that stretch through the entire back body. Inhale gently to rise. Bringing a bend into the knees, drawing the soles of the feet together. Planting the hands around the base of the feet. Using the thumbs to open the feet like a book. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, hinge to fold forward. Allowing the head to hang heavy. Maybe crawling the hands out in front of you. Noticing as we shift from movement to stillness where the mind moves. And see if you can just bring it back, focusing on the breath. Perhaps the sensation at the tip of the nose. Inhale gently to rise. Using the hands to draw the knees back towards one another. And then coming into a tiny bit of core work, we're going to come into our boat pose. So you have a couple of options here. You can grab a hold behind the backs of the thighs, bringing the toes to the mat, and you can just stay here, opening the chest, lengthening the spine, and drawing the space just beneath the navel in. So that's our deep core muscles, and you can stay here. Maybe you lift the feet off the mat, bringing the shins parallel. You can stay here, this is completely fine, or maybe you reach those arms out long in front of you. Active through the hands, reach through the fingertips, lengthen the spine, open the chest, and we're going to hold here for 10 deep breaths. So really drawing on those deep, full, expansive breaths. Cultivating that ujjayi breath, bringing it back into our practice. And maybe closing the eyes, tuning into sensation. Seeing if you can lift those feet a little higher, maybe reach the arms a little higher. Deep breath in, full breath out. 2 more breaths here, yogis. 1 more. And then gently release the feet to the mat, wrapping the arms around the shins and bringing the forehead to the knees. Breathing into the back body. And then reaching those arms out long in front of you. Create a C curve in the spine as you release all the way down onto your back. Hugging the knees into the chest when you get there. A little rock and roll from side to side. And then crossing that right ankle over the left thigh. Reaching through, grabbing a hold either behind the left thigh, maybe interlacing the fingers around the shins, finding a reclined figure of 4 shape, and then using your exhales to soften the shoulders down as you hug in towards the chest. Soften the face, perhaps allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm. Each exhale, releasing any tension in that right hip, the right hamstring, the glute area. And let's switch sides, gently coming out of the shape and then crossing left ankle over right thigh this time, reaching through, choosing where to interlace the fingers, and then on your exhale, hugging in, softening the shoulders, softening the face. Deep, full breaths. Visualizing with each exhale, we release any tension being held within the body. Feeling where you can release a little deeper. Perhaps you can soften in just a little bit more. Gently release from the shape, hugging the knees in towards the chest. A little rock and roll from side to side, deep breath in. And on your exhale, release the body long, releasing the arms alongside. And taking a deep, full breath in here. And on your exhale, allow the whole body to soften into the mat beneath you. Taking a few moments of rest here. I'll guide you out when it is time to go. Shavasana. And if you wish to stay in your shape just a little longer, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, bringing awareness back to the body, gentle movement in the fingers and the toes. Reaching the arms up overhead, stretching from the tips of the fingers to the tips of the toes. And then hugging the knees in towards the chest. And mindfully, when you're ready, gently making your way up into a comfortable seat. Coming back to that crisscross position that we began in, bringing the hands together at heart center. Let's take a deep breath in together. Please inhale through the nose. And exhale, sigh out. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through this practice today. Until we meet on our mats again. Namaste.